All right, guys, so we got probability distributions. Last section of probability, which I know you're probably happy to hear, but last one we got. All right, a couple words for this section. First one is random variable. I'm just going to read this thing. It says a variable whose value is determined by the outcome of a probability experiment. So like if you roll a die, the variable x could be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. That number is determined by the outcome. I just wrote that down here. That's awesome. I didn't read that. When you roll a 6-sided die, you can define a random variable. The number showing on the die, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Man, I didn't read that. That's awesome. All right, here's what a probability distribution looks like if you roll a 6-sided die. Okay, so like here's your random variable. Those are the numbers, those are the values it could have, 1 through 6. And the second line is the probability that each of those occur. All right, and each of those has the same chance of occurring. They're all 1 out of 6. If you were to add up all the probabilities on the bottom, you would get 1 because that includes all the probabilities. All right, this one says let x be a random variable that represents the sum when 2 dice are rolled. Make a table, we're not going to do a histogram today, showing a probability of distribution for x. So when you roll two dice, these are your sums, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way through 12. 12 is the highest you can get. Now my second one, okay, so that's the random variable right there. The second one is how many times it could happen. There's only one way to get a 2. There's 2 ways to get a 3, like you could get a 2 and a 1 or a 1 and a 2. To get a 4, you could get 2 and 2, 3, 1, 1, 3. So there's 3 ways, okay? And I just continued that chart all the way through. And because there's 36 different possibilities when you roll, think about it. Let's do the blanks like we did the other day. When you roll the first die, you have 6 things you could get. When you roll the second die, there's 6 things you could get. That means there's 36 different sums. Okay, so all these are out of 36. 1 out of 36, 2 out of 36, 3 out of 36. Just reduced them. 4 out of 36, 5 out of 36. And that's how you make a distribution. Okay, a binomial distribution, just a tad bit different. Shows the probabilities of outcomes of a binomial experiment. You know, when you see binomial, it means 2. So these are experiments that have outcomes, only have two outcomes at all. Like if you ask the survey question, the answer is either yes or no. That's a binomial distribution because there's only 2 possible outcomes. All right, here's the definition. Here's more stuff about it. Binomial experiments, there's a set number of trials. Like you may say, you ask 100 people, or you ask 50 people for a yes-no question. Here's the key. Each trial has only 2 possible outcomes, success and failure, we're going to call it. The probability of success is the same for every question you ask or every trial. The probability of success is by P. The probability of failure is 1 minus P because together they have to add up to 1. And for the binomial experiment, the probability works like this. Look at that thing. Oh my gosh, that looks crazy. It's actually very easy once you get going. All right, so here I'm going to show you one. We're going to be done. Okay, it says according to a survey, about 33% of people ages 16 and older own an electronic book. Now 33%, remember, is 0.33. You ask 6 randomly chosen people. That's important. Remember, we have to have a fixed number of trials. You got to have a set number of people you ask. You can't just, I'm going to ask all kinds of people. You have to have a set number. 16 and older, whether they own an e-reader. We're not going to draw a histogram of the binomial distribution for the survey. So here's what we do. When you ask 6 people, maybe none of them say that. Okay, but here's the deal. You have a 33% chance of them saying yes, which means you have a 67% chance of them saying no. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our calculator like we did the combinations the other day. And we're going to have 0 here. That 0 right there is going to be successes. That 0 is successes. That 6 is failures. Okay, so there's a 0.09, like a 9% chance that you get 0. Okay, the next one is, what are the chances one person says they own one? Well, look what happens. They become 6C1. We get an exponent 1 for successes, 5 failures. Just punch it straight in the calculator. All right, what if 2 people said they own one? Well, just change everything to 2. That changes to 4 because that means you had 2 successes, 4 failures. I'll do a couple more here. What if 3 people said they own one? All right, so 3 successes, 3 failures, same number every time. One more here. What if 4 people said they own one? 4 successes, 4 failures. 4 successes, 2 failures. There's your probability. So a lot of calculator stuff. Please make sure you bring it with you tomorrow. We're getting so close, guys, to the end. It's crazy. Been fun. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.